Hey guys, it's Tara. This practice is made for anyone that's feeling like really stiff. I was in a car for like 5-6 hours yesterday, I think. I don't know. It was a long time. And even though I feel pretty great when I woke up, my body's like a little stiffer than normal. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna do to get out of it, and I invite you to give it a try. All right. Make your way to your space. Go ahead and bring your hands to your knees and just begin to pedal out the knees, pedal out the hips. And then with the eyes closed, drop the head, allow the ribs to fully expand and lift up. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Press the big toe down, squeeze the heels in, and then walk your hands up to the upper thigh. Press the femur bones back, and then instead of bringing the elbows back, push them forward, and notice how that makes the ribs go back. Bring the knees forward, exhaling back. Inhale, rise. Exhaling back. Inhale, rise. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Drop the head now. Keep the hips resisting back if possible. And then we'll just do like a little arc up and over to the right. Exhale through center, arc up and over to the left. And if it inspires you to lift your chin away from your chest, go for it. Let the neck open just as much as the ribs. Opposite side. Gently release the arms, press the ribs to the left, hips and head to the right, and then switch opposite side. Cool. One more each side. Find your way to center. Reach up through the left side. Look up towards your hand. Inhale, reach up through the right side. Breathe. If the breath is being held, there's also stiffness in the body. So lift up. Exhale. Give yourself one more hug. Opposite arm on top. Whichever one feels awkward, bizarre, that's the one we're going for. Any kind of rib movement, hip movement, maybe try some half circles, some full circles if that feels okay. All right, bring the hands to meet, press the hands into each other. If you're on a really sticky mat, maybe move off of it. Twist the toes to the left, reach the hips back to the right, pull the hands towards the belly, lengthen out of the hips, and then twist opposite side, knees to the right, hips to the left. Once more, attempt to keep your gaze with the sternum. Yeah, all right, bring the hands apart. Step your feet wider than your mat. Keep your gaze lifted. Don't look down as you bend your knees. Keep the belly long. Look more towards the front of your mat. Walk your hands forward and wide. Place your entire hand down, so not like the half hand thing. The entire hand down. The heel of the hand is down. Let the ribs, the hips move side to side. And even drop the head for a moment, looking more towards the feet. Lengthen the neck just as much as the rest of the body. See if you can keep space and length in the neck. Draw the back of the head up towards the ceiling. Press the elbows wide. Breathe. Step one foot at a time to your mat, but keep your feet wide. Don't let them go narrow. And then just a little swivel in the hips, left and right. Push the ribs up towards the sky. Look more towards the front of your mat and hopefully notice a lightness. Twist the toes to the left. If you're feeling strong, find a dome in the left hand or bring your right knee down. So option to have the right knee down, find a pulse here, or stay on your right foot, depending on how stiff you're feeling. Knees forward, hips back. Stretch your left arm long. Exhaling back. Inhale, expand. One more like that.
And now bring your left hand to your right ribs. Pick the ribs away from the floor. Pick them up. Exhaling back. Inhale, rise. Option to come down to your right knee. If you've been on your feet and you're like, this is hard, come down to your right knee. Or if you're feeling good, left foot rises, bicycle. So if you're on your knee, it's gonna look more like this. Same idea though, lift the ribs away from the floor. Let the top of the head drop. Lengthen the left side of the neck. One last bicycle. Left fingertips touch down, left foot or knee touches down. If you're on your knees, stay on your knees. Find a wave all the way forward. Exhale, slide the hips back, wave forward. One more. Twist the toes to the right. If you're on your knee, you're just gonna swivel the right knee up. Humble cat here, dome right. Left ear towards the left shoulder, let the ribs rise. So option to be right here or option to be on both feet. Exhale, sit the hips back. Inhale, reach the right arm long. Attempt to push the floor away from you. Let the left elbow stay to the left. Attempt to find space between the shoulder blades, which is my weak spot. So if you ever see me collapsing there, know that that's not intentional. I'm working on it. All right, bring your right hand to your left ribs. Lift the ribs up and let the top of the head arc down more. Lengthen, almost lift the right jaw like you had a string attached to the lower right jaw, right where it connects, right in front of the ear. Option to come down to your left knee or bicycle right. Breathe. Push the floor away, find space. If you start holding your breath, come out of it. Exhale, right fingertips touch first, then the entire right hand comes down, right foot comes down, and find any kind of organic movement. If you're on your knees, stay on your knees. No need to come up to your feet unless you're feeling like you want to. You can try some rib circles, some sways. If you're on your feet, you can pedal one foot at a time. And then exhale, bring the knees all the way down. Untuck the toe, but keep the ankle lifted. Slide the hips back, bring the hands to meet at the center of the mat. The outer pinky edge of the hand presses down. Elbows push wide. Draw your way forward and see if you can lengthen out of the low belly. Exhale, sit back. Don't go so far forward that you stress out the hands. Elbows press wide. And then go ahead and bring the elbows down. Keep the outer wrists lifted. Press the head down. Lift the back of the heart up. Move the ribs ever so slightly. Let the head drop again. Soften the top of the shoulder, the trap. Tuck your toes. Lift the knees. Swivel the toes to the left and bring the right hip down. Right outer knee, right outer hip, left knee comes down in front. You can walk the right knee back a little bit, drop the head again, make more space between the shoulder blades, and now pull the elbows towards the knees. They're also pressing wide to keep that space. You can shift your gaze more towards your hands. Lengthen out of the belly. The feet can lift up as if you're pressing into something with your feet lifting upward. So if I were there, I could put like a hand on the outer foot. You could lift up into that. All right, keep the legs exactly as they are. Walk the elbows wide. Pull the ribs forward before you lie down, and then wrap one hand around the other fist. Let the forehead come down to rest on the hands. Soften the top of the shoulders. Knees press forward, hips root back. Little micro pulses here. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, expand the ribs. Exhaling back. Inhale, expand, find space. Left hand comes underneath the left shoulder. Extend the right arm, coming to your right side. Keep the legs as they are. Bring your left elbow all the way down. So instead of your hand, left elbow to the floor. Press the elbow down and push the ribs back. Open the throat so the head is more off of the arm than you'd expect. Press into your feet, reaching the hips back. Let the head drop back, arms rise up. Press into your feet and see if you can reach the hips back an extra inch. It's like they don't physically move on the mat per se. It's like instead of here, it's here. Hard to see, but incredible to feel the space in the belly and the low back. Right hand touches the outer left leg and energetically pulls down as the leg lifts up. And then lift the right ribs away from the hips. Left fingertips help press them to the floor near the head. Widen the shoulders, lengthen the neck, open the jaw. So separate the back teeth away from the top teeth. Back bottom teeth away from the top upper teeth. So you're not clenching, you're not gripping. Inhale, both arms rise up. Catch the ankle on the knee. Press the ankle into the knee. So you don't do this with your back. Instead, with the glutes, press the right foot into your mat as you find your way to your back. Take a moment, pick up the hips, expand the ribs, and then pick up the head. Set everything back down with a longer, more spacious, free spine. Press the left ankle into the right knee and then lift the right foot up. Sometimes it's heavy when we first pick up the right leg. So imagine there's a shelf for the right heel to sit on. Push down into that shelf. Let the belly lift and hopefully you'll notice a lightness now as the glutes are more engaged. All right, press the elbows energetically wide. Lift the chin. Little twist with the legs to the left, arms right. And then inhale, reach long, lift the chin. Bring your left knee more forward. Right knee presses into the ankle. Exhale through center, opposite twist. Knees right, arms left. Inhale, expand. Lift the chin. Exhale through center. Right foot touches down, followed by the left. Extend your left arm and roll to your left side. Take your time. Slide the hips back so much that you can bring your right knee in front of your left and then press your right elbow down. Come up to your left elbow. Knees down. Slide the hips back behind you. Drop the head. Push the ribs up. Press the elbows wide to keep the ribs expansive. Now pull the elbows towards the knees and almost like a snail coming out of that shell, look more towards your hands. Micro pulses, lengthen out of the belly. Exhale back. Soften wherever you're overworking, the traps, the jaw, the hands, the toes. And then this time we'll pull the elbows towards the knees. Go ahead and widen the left elbow, followed by the right elbow. Wrap the opposite hand around the other fist this time. So whichever way is not your default. Find some extra length as you set the forehead down. Widen the elbows more once the forehead is down. Soften the top of the trap. Top of the shoulder. And then invite little pulses into the body. Press the knees into your mat. Let the hips move, the ribs move, the low back is super expansive. Right hand comes to next to the right, underneath the right shoulder, I should say. Left arm towards the right front corner of your mat, lying on your side now. The hips will slide back a little ways. Push the right hip back, the femur bone back a little bit. Bring your right elbow all the way to the mat, not just the hand. The hand is gonna create less space in the ribs, so bring the elbow all the way down. Right elbow to the floor. Push the elbow into the floor, expand the ribs back, pull the elbow and knees towards each other, lengthen the spine. Even see if you can lengthen the neck by pressing the head back, open the throat. Little micro pulses here. Can you get more space between the ribs and the hips? So even though we're on our mat, we're still pulsing, we're still moving. Keep this length, let the head drop back, arms rise up towards the sky. Press into your feet and reach the hips back further. Expand the ribs. Exhale, left hand to the outer right leg. Pull the elbow down, press the leg up. Reach the right ribs away from the hips. Right shoulder moves away from the neck, more to the right. And then with the neck, sometimes we over twist the neck looking up towards the right elbow. Maybe today try looking more at a diagonal so the nose is more in line with the sternum. Notice if that creates more space for the neck. Inhale, arms rise up, catch the right ankle on the left knee, press them into each other as you roll off your mat to your back. Find your way back to your mat with the back of the body instead of with the arms. It's weird to get used to that, but so beneficial in the long run. But yeah, weird at first, I know. All right, once you're there, pick up the hips, press into the back of the head, expand the ribs, set them back down, and then decompress the neck. Just pick it up, set it down. Flex the right ankle, keep the toes soft, press the ankle into the knee, draw the right knee further forward, reaching the hips back, lengthen the belly, lift the left foot. If it's heavy, imagine a shelf you can place your left foot on, press down into that shelf, let that lengthen the belly more. Keep that tone, don't let everything go to sleep as you find a small twist, right, arms left. Inhale, expand, reach long, open the throat. Exhale, back through center. Opposite twist, small twists, legs left, arms right. Inhale, reach long, breathe. Exhale, bring the hand to the knee, to the ankle, little rock right and left with the hips. Set your left foot down, set your right foot down. Go ahead and resituate. So yeah, I find this like, it's kind of obnoxious to resituate the hips, but with that little twist, I don't really want to relax in the body. So it's like, if you can get those little micro twists out of the body and then move from there, I find it really helpful and beneficial. All right, go ahead and widen the feet, move them away from the hips and let the knees fall in towards each other. Give yourself a nice big hug. Grabbing the shoulders, if you can reach them, little rock on the back of the ribs, moving the ribs right and left. If you don't like the knees in, you can definitely separate them again. Expand the arms up in your inhale, and then exhale, bring the hands to just underneath the hips. Extend one leg at a time, and then you'll notice the hips are probably pretty tucked under, the back is flat. So lift up the hips, untuck the tailbone, lengthen the belly. And then most likely there's compression in the back of the low back. So two options, you can walk one shoulder away from the hips at a time with the arms up, or you can press into the back of the head, expand both sides at the same time, set it back down. It's a little more active. And then lift the head. Set it down with the chin lifted instead of with the chin tucked. Close the eyes and take some deep breaths. Let the feet fall apart as you exhale. Soften all the way up the legs, all the way into the hips, into the low belly, into the internal organs, all the way up through the rib cage, the heart, the lungs. Expand out through the shoulders, down the arms and into the hands and fingers, all the way back up into the shoulders. And now let it expand up through the front of the throat, through the back of the neck, the sides of the neck. Soften the lower jaw away from the upper jaw, letting the tongue rest on the roof of the mouth. And then fill the head with this same energy. Noticing all this space, all this newfound, I'm lacking the word, this newfound light maybe through the entire body. Let the entire body almost radiate, expanding from the inside out. And keep this expansion. Now, quick scan of the body. Notice where you're overworking, where you're overachieving, and then soften. Knowing that that can relax and you can still shine. You can still have that inner light, that inner expansion. More space, more length, more freedom. Take a couple more breaths into this space. And let the bones soften, the soft tissue soften, all the ligaments, the tendons, the fascia, and even the skin. Let the skin melt now. And please stay in this space for as long as you can, as long as the body allows.